Hey everyone, this is Toy Ninja from ToyGander.com, and today we are doing a follow-up review to the ED64 Plus. We're going to test some of the most difficult games to emulate, so let's turn it on and take a gander. Alright guys, before we get started, I just want to say thank you. We just hit 400 subscribers, so wouldn't do it without you, so thank you so much. And this is basically a follow-up review to the first video I did. I had multiple people ask questions on, well, can you do a video on this playing this particular one? Because there's not really good emulation on the computer, so everybody wants to make sure. So the first one came from Trigeo Johnny. He wanted us to test the Pokemon Stadium 2. So let's get into that one, and I'll show you that. This is one of my favorite ones out there. Pokemon Stadium 2. Takes a little while to load, but it loads. So we'll go ahead and press start. And I think you still do have to have an expansion pack, which I do, pretty sure. Yeah, if you can see in there, I got one in there, so I think you'd still do have to have it. If you don't, it won't. Most likely, it won't work. So just kind of show you a little bit of this. Same speed as you would have if you actually had the card in. So, you can kind of see. Plays perfectly. So I'll reset it. Now the only thing that after having this thing for a little while, the only thing that I have noticed, there's a couple things that don't work perfectly. So if you can see on the top here, wallpaper. If you try to change the background wallpaper, it will freeze up and it won't work. And I tried it a couple different times. I don't think there's a way to do it, so that's one of the downsides. The other downside that I saw is, and I mentioned in the other video, in order to record it, you have to save it in game and then hold the reset button when you're done. And if you hold it for 2-3 seconds, it'll hard save it to the card. If you don't do that, you'll lose the data. And I had a couple times where I didn't hold the reset button long enough, and it didn't actually save to the flash card. So that's one of the downsides. So I have another one. Another request came from Migot, M-I-G-O-T. So let's go ahead and test Conquer. Conquer's Bad Fur Day. One thing that you'll notice, Conquer's Bad Fur Day, it has like 1 million load screens. Now this game actually played a little bit slower than most games. It felt like it was less than 30 frames per second, but I think that actually is the exact same how it was when you purchased the cartridge. Alright. So you can kind of see it plays. Now if I go to this game, it will take forever to actually load it up because it's it just has a lot of cutscenes in it. So I'm going to skip that. I'll play multiplayer. Maybe it'll allow me to do this. So you can kind of see it playing on this. And trust me when I say all the other ones play perfectly as well. Alright, so I'm gonna... if you want to see Banjo-Tooie, that is a difficult one to emulate. I did that on the previous video. You could take a look at that. That one emulates perfectly. And then Jet Force Gemini. So let's check that one out. And again, this one has a lot of long cutscenes. Alright guys, my final thoughts on this are it's a great deal, and all the games emulate perfectly, and that's because they're not really emulating. It's still playing the original ROM on the original hardware. So that's why there's a big difference between computer emulation and flash carts. Flash carts are actually playing everything on the original hardware, so they play 100%. I went through all these games and I have not found any single one of them that don't play. The only things that don't play are the 64DD games. Again, I think there's a way to play them, I just don't know how to play them. So if you guys like this video, be sure to check out my other videos. Don't forget to click like and subscribe because I got a bunch like it. So until next time, you could help us take a gander.